We're going to be playing Two-Headed Giant Commander this Saturday at 6 p.m. This is a fun variant of the Commander format that we all know, but instead of 4-player pods, they're going to be playing as a team. You can either come to the store and register as a team, or you can get paired up with another player if you come in by yourself. Now, you might be wondering how Two-Headed Giant Commander is different, so let's go over some of the special rules we'll be using that night. So, first off, you and your partner each share a 60-point life total. Your team loses if you take 21 commander damage from any single commander. Your team also loses if you take 15 infect, or if either player is unable to draw a card from their library. So very similar to regular commander. The biggest difference is you and your team share a 60-point life total as opposed to everybody having their own 40-point life total. In Two-Headed Giant Commander, you and your partner take turns as a team. You'll untap together, enter your main phase together, attack together. You can look at each other's hands. You can discuss strategy during the game. Both you and your teammate can use your own creatures to block, even if your teammate is the one being attacked. So now that we know a little bit more about what Two-Headed Giant Commander is, let's go over a few tips to help you build a good Two-Headed Giant Commander deck. Tip number 1, you means you. If a card says a creature you control, you cannot target your teammate's creatures. Anthems that say creatures you control get +1/+1 will not affect your teammate's creatures. You also do not share resources, so you can't, for example, tap a land to give your opponent mana, your teammate's graveyard cannot help you meet threshold, that sort of stuff. Tip number 2. Cards that say each opponent are fantastic in Two-Headed Giants. So let's take a look at Porphyros, God of the Forge. His ability says whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 2 life. Well, you have 2 opponents. Even though you're playing against one team, you have 2 opponents. So each creature entry will make your opponent's team lose 4 life. That's going to add up fast. Tip number 3. Make sure your cards work for Two-Headed Giant. Some commander stables that you are very familiar with won't work the way you think they do. Let's take, for example, Ghostly Prison. If I play a Ghostly Prison, for example, my opponents can just choose to attack my teammate, and therefore the Ghostly Prison does nothing. Same goes for cards like Goad and Vows. So make sure you're playing cards that work within the special rules of Two-Headed Giant and aren't cards that your opponents can just play around. Tip number 4, coordinate with your teammate. Maybe one person plays an aggro deck and the other one person plays a bunch of removal. Or perhaps you both play very similar decks, so that way your opponents have to remove the same threats twice. Or be creative. Maybe you play a deck that's captained by best friends in the Magic lore, or maybe even enemies. Let's say one of you plays a Jace deck, and the other one plays a Vraska deck, or even better, an evil team with a Tezzeret and a Nicol Bolas deck. That'd be super fun. And that does lead us into our final rule: have fun. This is just going to be a really fun night. I am really looking forward to see the creativity. I want to see what decks you guys come up with. We're going to play 2 rounds. You're going to get a chance to really get a feel for your deck. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you never know, you might get paired up against my team on Saturday.